What if the very things that bring you the most comfort are quietly taking away your freedom? Let that sink in. Think about your favorite pleasures. Binge watching a series, endlessly scrolling on TikTok or YouTube, indulging in fast food. Now ask yourself, are these things truly liberating you, or are they controlling you? Aldous Huxley's prophetic novel Brave New World paints a chilling picture of a society enslaved, not by force, but by pleasure. People weren't shackled by chains, they were pacified with endless comfort. It was a prison without walls. Today, it feels like Huxley's world is no longer fiction. We live in a culture that glorifies instant gratification. Everything is just a click away. But this pursuit of pleasure hides a darker truth. As philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer warned, pleasure is only the starting point. It's suffering that defines life. Could our relentless chase for happiness be leading us into emptiness, addiction, and control? Let's peel back the layers of this modern paradox and explore how the pursuit of pleasure might be enslaving us. Stick around until the end of the video for practical tips to reclaim your autonomy and live intentionally. Give me a few minutes, and I'll help you recover years of your life. This is the hedonic treadmill, a metaphor for how our brains process pleasure. Psychologists explain it as our natural tendency to adapt to positive experiences quickly. What feels thrilling or satisfying today inevitably becomes the new normal tomorrow. Soon it's not enough, and the cycle begins again. Take social media as an example. A dopamine hit greets you every time someone likes your post. But how long does that fleeting happiness last? Before you know it, you're posting again, chasing another moment of validation. The same applies to binge watching a show. The first episode hooks you, but by the finale, your mind is already wandering, looking for the next series to dive into. Online shopping is no different. The excitement peaks when the package arrives, but it fades almost instantly, leaving you scrolling for the next item to purchase. These cycles create an endless loop of consuming and craving, but rarely achieving true satisfaction. Aldous Huxley's Brave New World eerily predicted this phenomenon. In his dystopian vision, people relied on a drug called soma to maintain constant contentment, regardless of their reality. While we may not have soma, modern conveniences like social media, streaming platforms, and e-commerce serve a similar role. They pacify us with momentary pleasures that keep us tethered to their systems. This is the essence of the hedonic treadmill. It keeps us running, always striving for more, but never truly arriving at fulfillment. The ancient Stoics understood this trap. Philosophers like Epictetus taught that true freedom lies in mastering our desires rather than being ruled by them. They argued that the relentless pursuit of pleasure creates dependence, not liberation. Yet, the hedonic treadmill persists, largely because the systems around us profit from our insatiable cravings. Big tech and consumer industries thrive on keeping us hooked, designing their platforms and products to feed this cycle. They exploit our psychological wiring to ensure we're always chasing, always consuming. Breaking free from this cycle begins with awareness. Recognizing that the pursuit of fleeting pleasures isn't the same as achieving happiness is the first step. Instead of allowing desires to control us, we must learn to rise above them. This requires a shift in mindset, from seeking immediate gratification to cultivating lasting contentment. Ultimately, the hedonic treadmill is a trap disguised as freedom. It keeps us moving but never truly lets us escape. By stepping off, we can begin to reclaim our autonomy and focus on what brings genuine meaning to our lives. True happiness doesn't come from chasing the next thrill. It comes from finding peace and purpose in the here and now. Our phones, apps, and platforms are not just tools, they're traps. Big tech has mastered the art of exploiting our biological wiring, keeping us engaged and dependent. One of the most insidious examples is infinite scrolling. This feature is not a mere design choice, but a deliberate mechanism modeled after slot machines. Every time you scroll and find something new, your brain releases dopamine, reinforcing the behavior and making it harder to stop. Similarly, autoplay on streaming platforms is designed to keep you watching long past your intended limit. What starts as just one episode can easily turn into an all-night marathon. Then there are personalized ads. These are tailored to your desires, showing you products or experiences you didn't even know you wanted. They tap into your subconscious, creating a need where there wasn't one before. This isn't a coincidence. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry built on capturing and holding your attention. The longer you stay engaged, the more money these platforms make. As Blaise Pascal once said, all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. In today's attention economy, this inability is not just a personal challenge, but a systemic one. Platforms ensure that we rarely sit quietly or alone. Aldous Huxley referred to this as voluntary servitude. Unlike Orwell's vision of a society controlled by force, Huxley's dystopia thrives on distraction. People don't need to be coerced because they willingly surrender their freedom for the comfort of entertainment and instant gratification. Why resist when it feels so good? Why rebel when your dopamine fix is just a swipe away? This is the paradox of the attention economy. It feels like freedom, but comes at the cost of our autonomy. The constant chase for stimulation undermines deeper fulfillment, meaningful connections, and even our sense of self. We trade authentic experiences for fleeting digital highs, often without realizing the magnitude of what we're losing. The question we must ask ourselves is this: are we the masters of our devices, or have we become their servants? Breaking free requires more than just willpower. It demands intentionality. We need to recognize the traps for what they are and take deliberate steps to escape them. This means setting boundaries, practicing mindfulness, and prioritizing what truly matters. Our phones, apps, and platforms should be tools to enhance our lives, not control them. By reclaiming our attention and resisting the pull of constant stimulation, we can regain a sense of purpose and fulfillment. The path forward isn't easy, but it begins with a single step: awareness. Once we see the chains, we can start to break them. The cost of convenience. We live in an era where everything is at our fingertips. Swipe, click, scroll, it's effortless. Yet despite being more connected than ever, rates of anxiety, depression, and loneliness are skyrocketing. When was the last time you sat in complete stillness without reaching for your phone? Constant stimulation rewires our brains. Neuroscientist Dr. Anna Lemke notes that the relentless pursuit of pleasure dulls our ability to experience joy. Over time, dopamine hits from likes, notifications, or instant entertainment diminish our capacity to focus and find fulfillment in the mundane. Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "That which does not kill us makes us stronger." Yet by avoiding discomfort, whether it's cooking a meal or walking to the store, we weaken our independence and problem-solving skills. Instead of building strength through challenges, we've become fragile, relying on systems that profit from our dependence. This is the cost of pleasure overload, a life that's easier but emptier, comfortable but constrained. The question isn't just about the pleasures we enjoy. It's about what they're taking away from us. Are we trading resilience, independence, and mental clarity for fleeting satisfaction? Mindfulness practices start by reclaiming your attention. Philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind. not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Mindfulness, whether through meditation or simply focusing on one task at a time, helps you regain control. Limiting screen time. The average person spends over 7 hours a day on devices. What if you could reclaim even half of that time? Start small. Schedule app-free hours. Turn off non-essential notifications, or try a digital detox weekend. Cultivating gratitude for simplicity. Gratitude shifts focus from what you don't have to appreciating what you do. As Epictetus noted, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Reflect daily on small joys, a sunrise, a kind word, or a quiet evening. Finding meaning through discipline. Here's the paradox. True happiness often comes through discomfort. Viktor Frankl, in Man's Search for Meaning, argued that fulfillment comes from finding purpose, even in suffering. Exercise builds strength and confidence through effort. Learning a new skill is frustrating at first, but deeply rewarding. Meditation demands patience but brings clarity. Living with discipline isn't about denying pleasure. It's about choosing the kind of discomfort that leads to growth and meaning. Think of it as investing in your future self. Breaking free, Aldous Huxley once remarked, "The real, hopeless victims of mental illness are to be found among those who appear to be most normal. Many of them are normal because they are so well adjusted to our mode of existence." Could it be that our normalization of comfort and distraction has made us blind to the very chains that bind us? Huxley's warnings are more relevant today than ever. The gadgets in our hands and the conveniences in our lives offer ease, but they quietly pull us away from true freedom. Are you living intentionally, or are you a slave to your desires? Reclaiming your life doesn't require grand gestures. Start small. Turn off notifications for an hour. Take a walk without your phone. Journal about what truly matters to you. These simple actions plant the seeds of intentional living, growing into a life of purpose and fulfillment. Pleasure isn't the enemy, but blind pursuit of it is. Discipline, meaning, and intentionality are the keys to freedom. Let's break free from the chains of distraction and build lives rooted in purpose. Challenge yourself. What's one small, deliberate step you'll take today to regain control? Share it in the comments. Your experience might inspire someone else to take their first step toward a more intentional life. If this video resonated with you, hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into philosophy, psychology, and modern life. Together, we'll uncover paths to true freedom and fulfillment. Remember Viktor Frankl's words, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." True freedom isn't the absence of discomfort, but the presence of purpose. Let's embrace that challenge together.